Welcome to another edition of Hot Cakes. Hi, dude, and myself coming at you live with another delicious episode. Hi, dude. How have you been doing, buddy?
At the moment, I am very sleep deprived. I had like 3-4 hours of sleep, so I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yeah. I guess if you want in-game, for anyone who doesn't know, I ghosted 2 clips, left Oblivion for a bit for this current war. It's going good. I've got 6 out of 6 slots, so I'm living the dream.
Nice, man. How's ghosting in Eclipse? Like, besides living the dream of the war, like, what is that going to be a permanent move, good sir?
Nah, I'm gonna be pirating post-war probably.
You're not going back to Oblivion?
Not for a while. Just because there's not really anything to do within the sphere at the moment. Just because of
Because if I know.
Yeah, well, if Rose, well, I guess I should just call it Celestial here because I can't say the $ in Rose in speech. If Celestial rolled us, the fun fact: the last time TS and Rose rolled Hollywood, I was also in Eclipse, so that would have been a weird coincidence.
Fair enough. Why not go back to Oblivion? Zig asked, did you get kicked?
There ain't anything to do in Oblivion either. Just gotta log on to my multis once in a while.
That's fair.
And then,
Oblivion's sure one of the greatest AAs of all time, though. So what do you mean there's nothing to do there?
Well, at some point, like after Global Development Coalition cut our treaty, we just weren't the same. Like they took all our energy and motivation away, knowing that we weren't good enough for their future hegemony. So it kind of bummed us out a little bit, I guess.
That's fair. Lefty and I are making an alliance. You can join our alliance.
No, I will consider that offer.
Okay. All right. I'll take that as a maybe. So you're saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance if you try hard enough.
Oh, dude, we are trying hard, so hard. So welcome to another episode of Hot Cakes, where your take is our hottest cake. As is tradition within Hot Cakes, we like to interview folks that normally don't get a chance to speak, a chance to voice their opinion. And so I'd like to invite Morf up here because I know he was having a hard time speaking at the tail end of Thalmoria. If he wants to come up here and speak, I know he didn't get much of a chance. Morf, you want to pop up here, buddy? Oh, wait here. There he is. What's up, Morf?
Oh, what's up, man?
Hey, dude. Good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Oh, yeah,
always.
No, I never get the chance to talk. So.
I know. It's like people don't get to hear your wonderful, wonderful voice. And I feel like it's a treat that everyone deserves to enjoy inside of their ear holes,
Sure. Yeah, that's nice.
It is nice, isn't it? Hey, Marv. So first of all, what's up, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm just happy to be here.
All right. We're happy you're here too.
I have a nice 100+ downvote post. Life is good.
100+. Let's see where that puppy's at right now. As of 10:18 p.m. Eastern on 5/25 on 2022 of Thy Lord's Day, you are sitting at, let's see, peace in our time. Yeah, 108. Not bad.
I feel pretty confident. I feel pretty good about that.
Not bad. There's 25 people that think you're actually, most of those laughing faces would also honestly probably contribute to also downvotes. So it's even better, to be fair. Your record would probably extend past that 108.
I'm counting them as downvotes, so really Rock can, carry my jockstrap. So
100, or should I say 108 for sure?
yeah,
dude.
1080.
1080. Morph. So you are one of my longest PNW pals, or cyberverse pals. I don't know what you'd call it. So I feel comfortable in asking you, what were you thinking with this, buddy? What was the thought process on this move?
Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
You're welcome.
First of all, Zig, Rock can't carry my jockstrap. Make sure you keep that for posterity. Well, I mean, do people need the rundown of how everything went? Obviously, the Hand of Fate milled. People freaked out. We milled. Everyone milled. Mills all around. So then, Clock goes ahead and lovingly taps Backrooms, with that whole fun thing. So then, at this point, it's kind of like you're at a bar at closing time, and you're kind of just awkwardly staring at the other person at the bar, and you're like, well, do we go home together or not? Just trying to figure that out kind of vibe. We didn't really want to go home with Celestial in that way, and Celestial didn't really want to go home with us in that way. We just fought Syndicate a couple months ago, ended about 3 months ago, I think. I don't know. Time is all relative.
Isn't fought kind of a loose term?
Well, that is a subjective term. Some of us fought pretty well in that war. Others did not. But we can leave that up to the historians. But we didn't want to fight them at this particular point in time. It's not that we didn't want to fight Celestial down the road. We'd be open to it. We know that that's kind of the direction the game was heading, but an end of May war is not really not ideal for our leadership, etc. So we didn't want it. We wanted more time.
What do you mean by that? End of May war? Is that due to school?
I mean, people at school, other people were busy, lots of stuff was going on, and we didn't have a actual CB except boredom, boredom is fine. Boredom is a fine reason for war. I get that. But we kind of wanted something else besides that. And we didn't have it. Celestial doesn't have it. So we wanted to email.
Should the standard be, if you don't have a CB, then you should sign an MDP with another block? Hey, I have a CB to hit another block, so let's sign an MDP with a different block. So that way, because we don't have a CB.
I mean, sure, that's what you want to say, sure.
No, I'm just curious.
So we want to demill, right? Now, yes, we could have sat there for a month, full milled, just staring down the barrel at Celestial, with every day wondering, well, are they going to hit us now, right? So we wanted to drop to more of a standard peacetime MMR.
Why don't you just do that?
Because at this point, there is a block that has shown in their history that their MO is to hit a weaker sphere and then to hit a stronger sphere. And now they're going to say in chat, it was just one time. When it's the only war that your sphere has fought, that's your MO. And we didn't want to fight the chaining war in that way, because the chain, if we were going to be demilled and them already with low infra, that's double disadvantage. So it was an agreement to take that off the table. It was a strategic interest for us, a strategic interest for Celestial. So that agreement was made. And we wanted the downvotes.
Is it fair to say that you were scared of Clock? Because that's what kind of. So you're scared that they're going to hit you. So you wanted to have an MDP with the other largest block in the game. Like there's 2 blocks in this game where another block would not be able to 1v1 against, and it's Celestial and Hollywood and Clock. But you argued in the past, why don't you hit us? You're better than us. You're blah blah blah. You're brave and beautiful. How about you hit us? And then Hand of Fate left Clock, and so they're even smaller. Their best fighting line left them in case Hand of Fate, right? So they left them, so they're even smaller. And that small force, you're like, oh my gosh, Lord have mercy. Let us sign with Celestial. And then did that encapsulate the situation correctly?
No, the word would not be scared of Clock. The word would be we didn't want the annoyance of it at that particular time. If they would have came and hit us when we were full mill instead of hitting back rooms, would have loved that. It would have been nice. I would have enjoyed it.
What's the difference?
What's different about it?
Yeah.
Because at that point, there is actually like stuff to do. They would be full infra, we'd be full infra. It would be a war where you can actually like claim some form of victory, because what would probably happen is we would have beat them stat wise, but they would have been saying, oh well, we destroyed all your stats, so really we won.
Wait, come on, you just said you would have beat them stat wise, but they would claim that they won the stat war. What do you mean?
I'm saying like I'm saying if it's an even war, where we have full infra, they have full infra, then you can have victory in multiple ways. The other way would have been probably a win, but I mean, we would have beat them if they hit us, but then they would have been able to claim the stat victory, which is fine. But I personally like getting juicy infra. I think a lot of people in Clock do. They like to raid. KT just goes and hits people for fun. Well, that was KT. It's different. But like, there are lots of people like that like to raid, that like to get stats. Wanting to get stats is not a bad thing, because now they're going to say we're pixel hugging or we're trying to stat whore, which you can't do both, I don't think. But you know, it's fine.
You kind of can though, can't you? Because if you're pixel hugging and then you're also a stat whore, I think that kind of goes hand in hand, because if you have a lot of infra, you're getting money, and then also if you have a lot of like infra, like you're scared of getting hit because that's going to hurt your stats. So I think that kind of goes half and half. So going back to what you're talking about, you're saying that they would claim a stat victory, where Clock, traditionally the alliances in Clock have said that stats is a load of shit. So for them to claim a stat victory, I think that would be kind of hyperbole, and you could call them out on that claim, could you not? Because they've in the past said that stats is a load of horse shit. So then they're the most vocal block on that. Actually, on that, stats actually don't. It can be skewed and it doesn't really matter. And so so on the same breath, when you said that they could claim a stat victory, you also said that you like hitting juicy infra. So it also leads me to believe that you like the stats. So is it Clock that likes the stats, or is it Hollywood?
I personally like the stats.
Okay, so your fear is that the only way you can win is via stat war, and you couldn't claim that victory if you were hit by Clock with their infra being shaved. Is this correct?
No, we would win. We would win a conventional war without stats. I'm just saying, I personally like stats.
So because you personally like stats, you decided to have an MDP with the also the largest block in the game?
Well, no, because I don't do stuff by myself. So what I want isn't really preference. I'm not even the leader of my alliance. That's a Weisel call. Like, there were lots of people working on this just because I don't lead my alliance.
I heard that this was your idea, though.
Who said that?
That's just the word. Is that correct?
Sometimes. It was a discussion between Celestial and Hollywood.
Okay. So I guess
Hollywood leadership was on board. Celestial leadership was on board. So
hey, I'm gonna go ahead and invite Morf. Morf, you've been invited to speak also. Okay. Anyway, so I guess I'm just okay. All right. So I think we've got a pretty good idea where you're coming from. Hi, dude. I'm curious. You were in Hollywood. You've since left. So Morph was already. Morph.
confused.
Oh, sorry. Did I say Morph? I meant to say Zig. I apologize. I've had a few drinks. Zig, I invite you to speak.
See, I've been talking.
Yeah, you've been doing great. Thank you for coming on. I'm like, I didn't understand the chat. Now I understand my mistake. Zig, I have invited you to speak. Zig, if you want to go ahead and pop on, I shot you over an invite. So, hi, dude. What do you have to? You were in Hollywood earlier. What's your thoughts on all this? Hi, dude.
Yeah, so basically what Morph is telling you is that if the Johnsons does not join us in Celestial and Hollywood in our mutual MDP, we're gonna roll you soon. So basically, it's be assimilated or die is our message from now on.
What should that be the Johnsons' message to Hollywood though?
Well, I mean,
it kind of is.
Let's just say Hollywood is. It's been a long time in the making, but the last war, like all of you are curious why Blackwater decommed so quickly, TS decommed so quickly. Like, don't you think that's a bit suspicious? Actually, we've been planning our secret treaty with them since that war. Like we just wanted to, like reduce damages a little and make it seem a bit like one-sided and like, our conflict was over and whatever. But basically all of our damages, like, this goes back to NPO's last time, right, where Requentin like stashed a bunch of money away and hid it where in a place where Sheepy couldn't find it, and so he just bankrolled both of our spheres for those wars. And I don't know. Basically, he's coming back, and Inquisition is coming back. So you'd better prepare yourselves. Oh, and all the stats pages for that war were also faked, given Carthago CTON was in Blackwater at the time, so they were, paid to fake it. Borg is, of course, ex-NPO, so he was, paid to fake his stats too. So, I think it's finally time that the conspiracy came loose.
So, to add to that, Zig said something like, oh, the OPSEC, why, blah, blah, blah. I only say something to multiple people tell me something, and I'm going to give you another bombshell here. So with the Morph coming up with it, I've heard probably about 3 or 4 people have said that Morph came up with this idea, which is why I was asking about it. I just wasn't sure if it was real. That's why I was asking. But this is another thing where 3 or 4 people have told me Requentin, his last name is Johnson. And now you know where the Johnson's name. Requentin is in the Johnsons.
Shit.
Confirmed. Mm-hmm. Hegemony. Yep. Suck it, nerds. Zig.
So
sorry.
You're saying Requentin played us?
We've
been played by fools
the whole time. I can tell you what his real role nation is right now. Would you like me to?
I'm shocked and appalled.
As you should be. At the end of the show, I will tell you what Requentin's reroll nation is. Zig, are you around, buddy? Are you able to talk? I kind of just pulled you up here on a
technically, yeah.
Technically, nice. Heck yeah, dude. How are you doing?
Peachy.
Oh, are you from Georgia?
No, that's just my default saying.
Peachy. Okay, right on.
You gotta say something when people ask you a question that you have no answer to. So that's what I go with.
I always say to the left. How are you doing? To the left, So, Zig, what's your make out of all of this? Used to be in Hollywood. You're a very outspoken individual. I'm curious what you feel about all of this. I don't think anyone ever asked you. I want to know what you think.
I'm not outspoken, but I'll tell you what I feel about this. I actually posted about this, and you can just go ahead and read the thread.
Could you summarize it for those of us who have a hard time reading?
I have a hard time reading too.
Can you summarize it for yourself?
I don't know. I can't even remember what it says either. So I just know my allies thought it was funny, so they posted it. I'm kind of not paying attention to the game much right now, so I don't have much of an opinion.
Well, given Kev's recent admission that Rock is the one behind the Johnson strings, would you like for Clock Backrooms, Hollywood, and Celestial to come together and make a peace and war in our times agreement to recognize that all four parties have sometimes peace and sometimes war between them, and then just form an MDP block against Johnson's?
That's a question to you, Zeke.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I don't really have a say.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shock, I know, but let's just say the world depends on your hands right now.
The world's in my hands. I say let's go for it, I guess,
Hell yeah.
But, we gotta have that's a really nuanced treaty. I'm all for conditional MDPs, and there's gotta be a lot of conditionals in that. Because most MDPs, they usually have non-aggression clauses in them. We got to make sure that those are anti-non-aggression pacts. That's a tricky thing. That's kind of a new kind of territory, kind of new treaty that you need to write. We'd have to do an anti non-aggression optional non-aggression sort
ONAP,
of pact,
an ONAP.
An ONAP,
yeah. It's just like a new era of politics we're entering.
ONAP.
Live on air.
I'm all for this. I'd love to see us take all of the concepts of MDP and NAP and war and just put them all together into a string of characters that we could pretend make sense, and we'd be good.
Yeah. Hey Zig, I think you're onto something. Hannah, would you be willing to sign a O-Snap with a member of the Johnsons? She seems to be open to the idea potentially. So I'm just curious in chat if Hannah would be willing to do this. Okay, perfect. I think we might have the first O-Snap treaty. So I'd like to thank you, Zig, for being a foundation breaker. You should add that to your title, foundation breaker, and a leader of men. So thank you.
While we're at it, I'd like to announce the start tonight of a new optional semi-non-aggression pact block, an O-Snap block. I'm not going to announce who's actually in it, but I've actually had this in the back burner for a little while now. Mindsum and I can tell you, Mindsum and I have been talking about this for quite some time, and we're just not ready to go public with it yet.
Okay. All right. Well, we're looking forward to any forum activity that will drive posts and threads up, especially posts like GDC. So hopefully your kind of threads can be on par with GDC's threads, as that has been the epitome of greatness in the politics and war forum server. So I'm looking forward to what comes, and which leads me to the next topic. Unless and we can come back to this later if more people have more insight. I'm sure they will. Something I did want to say. So, as some folks, I'm not saying I would, but some folks may call this move, maybe not the best move ever, maybe a terrible FA move, maybe like, what the hell are you doing, Morf? What are you thinking, Morf? Morf, we love you, but Lord, what a move. I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying maybe some people think that. I think it's important to view this on the other side here and on the positive side. this has been driving activity on the forums. I think that thread is at like 11, 12 pages, something like that. That's awesome. And that's fun. And even if you're getting all kind of riled up or vice versa, or you're trying to defend a position, you're trying to aggress on a position or defend your aggression, defend your defensive, whatever. Like this back and forth, this is the nom, 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 nom. This is the shit that's delicious. Like this is the good stuff. So to me, all in all, this is a net positive, Morph. So for that, I thank you. I just wanted to throw that.
You're welcome. You know, we're just happy to drive innovation and to drive community engagement forward.
Yep. I appreciate you doing what you need to do in order to make that happen. Hi, dude. What's your thoughts on this? You've been around for a long time. I don't know if most people realize that. You've been around, like, you're basically like, I would say Ian McKellen is to movies, or like Patrick Stewart is to movies. Or like Morgan Freeman. You've been through everything, and yet you look so damn good. So my question to you, hi, dude, how do you feel about this switch, and how do we keep going towards forum activity?
Oh man, I've been here for too long. I think
you got to talk like Morgan Freeman when you're giving your opinion.
I don't think I could do that. Morgan Freeman's one of a kind. Well, I don't know. I think the trend towards forums is good, and I've said this before, but arguing in news servers is a bit like arguing on Twitter, because like it's just people attacking you left and right for no reason, and you can't answer all of it. And so I think forums is to go back to forums is a nice medium where you can actually have a place to think about things before you actually post.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think eventually, hopefully more stuff like this happens where people are just convinced to argue on forums.
Yeah, amen. I agree wholeheartedly. So all in all, it's a positive, and I hope, and like, let's be real here. At the end of the day, I'm sure there's been some, what do you want to call it? People being over the top with it, like, Jesus, calm down, this is the game. But I feel like all in all, the arguments have been pretty good towards both sides of the aisle to have this be a healthy, fun discussion. You know what I mean? To drive overall game stuff. So I enjoy what's happening, and I hope overall most people do. And I don't know. That's kind of the consensus. And George, what I'm talking about with drive game stuff, I mean like drive the way that communication is. So it's not just like herder, insult, herder, insult. It's like thought out why this is a really dumb move, or thought out why this is the way we do stuff. Everyone is pissed, George. I would agree with that. Everyone is pretty like, what are you doing? However, it's not like one word insults and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's thought out posts, going back to what Heidi was talking about and using the forums to convey those posts. And even though someone does maybe, I do need a disclaimer, fair enough. And this is my disclaimer. So even though someone might misstep or whatever, to be able to convey those thoughts in a way that can kind of go back and forth, and it can be kind of that fun politics thing, I think that's a good thing for the game. Overall, is this a good move for the game politically? No, it's. I think it's a terrible move. But anyway, that's kind of my thought on it. I hope more people continue to contribute their thoughts, whether they're pissed off, whether they think it's entertaining, or whatever the hell it may be. Posts on the forums, guys. What's that?
I mean, primarily, right? Yeah. I agree with all you're saying about engagement, and I think it's good anytime someone does stuff that engages the community in a way that is different. I also do think it ultimately boils down to a move that is beneficial for two blocks and is not beneficial for other blocks. Like at the end of the day, yes, that's what it is. It's good for Hollywood and good for Celestial. It's not good for other people in the game, like, sure. But ultimately, like, here's a question. What do people owe? I guess this is more of like just a philosophical question. Like, should people be more thinking about what's best for their alliance or best for the overall health of the game? Like, I'm not saying like we don't think about what's good for the alliance. I'm just asking
both at the same time.
Yeah, I'd say both. Yeah,
sure,
both.
Both.
I think
good,
you can take one into consideration while doing the other.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of the same, but like when you're weighing things, like what are you weighing the most? Because both. Okay.
That would be my thought. I mean, like, because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, if you're doing something that's going to hurt the overall meta, it's going to end up hurting your alliance long term too. So short term, if all you're looking at is maybe like money intake, etc., sure, that's kind of, but I kind of think it's short sighted because it's going to hurt long term. And honestly, even maybe in short term, it might, because this move is so unpopular. I'd be willing to bet that there's alliances in Celestial and Hollywood that are like, ugh. So you look at, like, for instance, High Dude is trying to distance himself, and he was a huge voice within Hollywood, whether you like it or not. Like, that's someone that's like, I'm over to Eclipse. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pirate. Because if you look at what's going on, meh. And you look at some of these different comments, and I get it. Some of these old timers, like, they're used to having to take a stance and, like, defend their sphere or their allies, no matter how dumb it is or whatever. Like, or I don't want to say dumb, that's mean. No matter how controversial it is. But like, all in all, I feel like this could hurt Celestial and Hollywood or help, because let's twist this even further. Let's spin this in a different degree. What if, because this happens, Celestial ends up breaking up and Hollywood ends up breaking up, and it ends up being good for the game? You guys didn't think about that, huh? And maybe they knew about it if this was Morph's idea, because Morph is no dummy. Morph is wonderful. Maybe Morph knew about this, and he's actually playing 7D chess, and he's trying to create even further mini spheres to make this world even more dynamic. Huh? I'm just saying, think about it.
Alternatively, like maybe you'll enjoy, you'll enjoy Celestial Hollywood rule eternally. Like, how in real life you never have to fight, and like, you don't have to go to war unless you're like Ukraine or Russia or like a lot of places in Africa and the Middle East. But besides that, you don't have to go to war, right? And like, so like, we can enjoy a new period of peace and prosperity and zero radiation. And I think it'll be fun for everyone.
People always talk about wanting world peace, but when we try to give them world peace, they just don't go for it. I'm with you, High Dude. I'm tracking.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, anyway. Where's Kaz? Are you in Rose? Oh, I'm curious. Kaz, would you be willing to come up here if you're in Rose? Because I know you ain't no dummy, and I'd like to hear your input too. Let's see. Kaz is typing. I haven't had the pleasure to really talk with Kaz very much. You don't represent your line. Okay, what? But do you represent yourself? Like, you have autonomy. Let's be real here. All right, who else wants to talk? Let's see. Raise those hands, Boo Boo. Let's see what else people have to say.
I appreciate that.
Hannah says, "Oh, nice." Let's see who else. Ooh, lots of hands up. I see lots of hands. Let's see more hands go up. Wow, look at all these hands. Wow. Look at all of them. It's hard to choose between all these hands being up to bring into this chat.
Oh, they're actually hands up? Oh, okay.
All right, cool, man. Well, here's my thought. Does everyone have a drink? Let's just go around. There's only 37 people listening in right now. So I want to make sure everyone has a drink before we go into the next segment and enjoy our Wednesday nights and or morning, depending where you live. If everyone's good to go, otherwise, let's take a short break so that way you can refill your drink and come back together and sit around the table of cakes. All right, great. It looks like we could use a short little break. What do you think, Hi Dude? You need a topper off?
I've never drunk alcohol in my life before. Hell yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you do, buddy. Sounds like you do. Love it. Love it. I do want to run some ads, James. Mr. James Wilson. And Mr. James Wilson, if you want to come off of mute too, we can get you up here as well. So in the meantime, sit back, relax, and let the music take you away. Oh my God. It's taking way too long. Oh, found it. Mr. Booty. Everett.
It's really surreal when you have to read the units.
Yakuza, laying it down for my brothers on top of ya. Just wanna talk to ya, wearing a crown made of bullets and Sakura. Family first, family forever, we got this, no pressure. No one can stop us when we get together. Samurai sword, your connection is severed. Coming from the bottom, Yakuza say 893. If you tryna win the game, then baby, follow me. Countless money we paid up. Fresher than fresh, we are made, bruh. Fuck with the crew and your nation is dead, cause there's no mercy left in this blade. Yeah, kamikaze. Pull up on the scene of the crime in my Maserati. Tearing up your nation's members, looking like zombies. So go ahead, take your shot. Teflon Don, call me John Gotti. Wrote a book on success. Help yourself, take a copy, read it up. Stable full of money, driving Lambos and Bugattis. Got me feeling pretty naughty, steady stacking up the bodies. Bang, shitting on our haters like I'm in a porta potty. Coming from the bottom, Yakuza say 893. If you're trying to win the game, then baby, follow me. Countless money we paid up. Fresher than fresh, we are made, bro. Fuck with the crew and your nation is dead, cause there's no mercy left in this blade. Can't you see? There's no hope if you fuck with me. Yakuza can't be stopped. Drop the top, we're about to pop. You flop, we hop. Take pot shots, we're too hot. Ain't never seen shit like this before. Built countless cities, built countless more. Silent today and we're all fucking fuck with the family, we'll take the damn trash out. Partying hard with my Yakuza brothers. The shooters are pillar of greatness. From the bottom, Yakuza say 893. Bow. If you tryna win the game, then baby, follow me. Yeah. Countless money we paid up. Fresher than fresh, we are made, bro. Fuck with the crew and your nation is dead, cause there's no mercy left in this blade.
What a perfect family. Meet the Johnsons. Richard and his wife Anita. And there go young Seymour and Phyllis. Circuits, their butler. And where's that scoundrel little Richard Jr.? Ah, there he goes on his tricycle. The Johnsons, coming to a podcast near you.
All right. Welcome back to Hot Cakes. Okay. So, real quick, this is, I just want to throw this out here. Something to take a peek at. Morf, since you are someone who has authority, one could argue, in the Hollywood sphere, which is one of the dominating sphere at the time, if you want to take a peek at this graph, if you take every alliance outside of Rosewood, here's the graph I just posted, right? You guys still have a shot with your 2 spheres beating the rest of the entire game. It's not even a shot. It's a very, you'd probably beat the rest of the game.
No, honestly, we'd lose because Camelot has fought and won against every sphere in the game, so we don't have a chance.
That's true.
That's a good point.
You have an undefeated Camelot.
So did you take that into consideration? And also, did you take into consideration the backlash this would receive?
I mean, we knew that it would not be a popular choice. I will admit, I wasn't expecting maybe 100 downvotes, but I was thinking like 60. Ballparking it.
I don't think the downvotes are done, so you halved your expectation. Well, so I guess it's
yes, my expectations have been matched. It's very nice.
Yeah,
met, exceeded, even.
Exceeded, right? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, did you guys not talk about the Oasis and Mink thing and think, hey, won't they point towards that and think, was that not brought up?
It wasn't like something that was
so no,
super highly considered in foresight.
Oops.
Yes,
was that
might have been a mistake. However, yeah, that was
it just happened like a couple months ago. How'd you guys not think of that?
I've
just lack of experience
then,
or what? What?
I've slept since then. And it's, it is one of those things that...
There's been like one war since then.
Huh?
There's been like one war since then. Yeah, and you guys thought about how what I don't understand is you guys are referring to how Clock does the chain thing, and literally the chain thing, quote unquote, came from that experience of Rose and Oasis and Mystery Inc. doing that. So you guys thought about that instance, but you didn't think about what created that instance to be in. I guess I'm just blown away by that part of it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, I think, that so I'm trying to think of the word here.
Oops.
No, not oops. More of just, I think, tunnel vision. Is tunnel vision on what we were trying to do, and maybe less on the overall surrounding of the thing. So
how long did it take for you guys to come to this conclusion to do this?
I mean, it was being discussed for. It wasn't like a rush job. It was. I think there was
couple hours,
several days of just trying to figure out details, and as much as people think this was probably like 2 people in the back room talking, it was going back and forth to sphere leadership and saying, here's what's going on, them going to their sphere leadership, etc.
So you said several days?
I mean, the thought was that we had no intention of going to war with Celestial at this point. Celestial had no point of going to war with us. We thought Clock might hit one of us, or we thought Clock would hit Backrooms. So we were discussing what happens, how do we get to a D-mill if something goes on. It wasn't even like after Clock specifically hit Backrooms. It was trying to just figure out how do we best get to peacetime footing without shooting each other, kind of thing, because we didn't want to shoot each other, right? So
So you guys wanted to do Farmville and grow and whatever and increase your wall of whatever. So and at the end of the day,
grow for now because it's the whole.
I feel like you guys are scared of Clock. I feel at the end of the day, Clock is boogeyman, spooky Clock. That's like to me. That's what I'm hearing from all of this. Is like even with you guys milling up, you said you were talking for several days. The war with Backer has only been going on for like 2 days. So like if you've been talking before then, it's like, oh, who's Clock gonna hit? Ooh, spooky. Like, oh, but if we're not hitting each other, so let's just like make sure we defend each other because spooky Clock. Let's mill up spooky Clock. Like that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's
true.
We
were going to mill up regardless because we've seen firsthand that not getting milled up is just giving someone an easy win. Like Hollywood hitting Guns N' Roses when Rose wasn't fully milled allowed them to take on 3 spheres and win. Because Rose never recovered from not remilling.
But you guys are good. To me, that's the thing that blows me out. Like Celestial, I get, and that's why I think on this whole thing, the biggest thing that chaps my butt is Hollywood out of this. Celestial, I get because Rose has shown time and time again on War it's been rough. It's been rough for Rose, and then in this last War, it's been kind of rough for Blackwater with Syndicate, but maybe that was a one-off. I don't know. That was kind of like but Hollywood is good, like at fighting. That's in my opinion. I feel like the consensus is Hollywood was the best sphere, and Clock was so much further below at this point, especially losing the Hand of Fate. Like I think that personally, and I think for a lot of people, I think if you look at the previous Mystery Inc. and Oasis people, the thing that really chaps their ass is that they did the same thing and they got pooped on, right? But for everyone else, I think the main thing is Hollywood really let people down on this, I think. Because Celestial, I get. They're in a weird spot. I think Celestial's a way stranger situation than you are if they're trying to like figure crap out right now. But you guys are objectively good, Hollywood is. And objectively, like you guys are set. And so I think, to me personally at least, I'm more disappointed in Hollywood than I am Celestial because they're trying to like, what do we like, like I get it at that point because they just got pooped on in the last couple of wars and they're trying to like figure themselves out and like they're trying to counteract while still being politically relevant, like the Hollywood whatever wall of whatever, and then you have like the Clock competence fighting whatever, but they just lost their best fighting alliance. So to me, the Hollywood thing was just bizarre with you taking that approach, I guess, because you versus Clock, you guys win unless Clock blitzes you, then maybe. And that's with Hand of Fate. That's a maybe if they hit you. But if you guys hit them, it's done. So I guess that's why I'm confused, and I think a lot of other people are confused. But that's my take on it. But I don't know. And I'm just curious if maybe Heidi, do you have a different thought on this? James, do you have a different thought on this? I don't know.
James, you can go first if you'd please. Okay, those are some excellent thoughts. Thank you, James. Personally,
I didn't hear you say anything. There's something wrong with my phone. I can't hear.
Oh, right on. Oh, go ahead. Hi, dude.
If you wanted my honest take on this, personally, I don't really care. I don't think this is going to happen again. And if it does, then like I'm basically out. I don't think this is really going to change anything except that some people were like blue balled a bit, probably from the fact that we didn't hit each other. And that's fine, you know, if we would have fought Celestial and whatever. But I do agree it's dumb. I think that people should have taken the risk and just been like, yeah, let's just demill without an MTP and, you know, have some risk in it, but it's not much risk. And just quietly do it, and I think everything would have been basically the same as it would have been now.
Yeah. I think, yeah, that's fair. Like, hopefully this doesn't happen again. True. It's just the fact that it did happen was like, ugh. So, like, if it I mean, I don't know. I guess what we could do is just take it as a one-off, and then just like it being a misstep and just move on. But the problem is since it's happened and there's no consequence to it besides 100 plus downvotes, how do you continue on? You know what I mean? Because there's going to be people that hold it over people's heads. That was true.
I don't know. I guess the only thing I can say is that this does not make us like best friends with Celeste or whatever. It's just here to put the paranoid people away. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think, and if anything else, I guess this pushback, the amount of pushbacks, the radio shows on it, the downvotes, the comments on the forums and stuff, I guess that can be viewed as a deterrent to not do this going forward, right? So hopefully that can also be kind of like, because it is a PR hit at the end of the day. Kan 0601 Kan, are you there?
Hi.
Hey, buddy. Morf, is your mic working?
Yeah, man. I'm here today.
Okay, cool. Kan, what's up, buddy?
Oh, I just want to add that the only reason why we did chain last war was because of two big spheres, signing an MDP, which Clock, I can tell you with 100% certainty, we were only going to hit Rose. We never planned to fight against Oasis or Mick.
Well, that's not true, because there was Kata and HOF. Kata and HOF were going to hit by themselves, yeah.
Oh, well, then that must have been like a reaction to Kata and HOF arming up.
It was, the MDP was a reaction to, Kata and HOF arming, but that's still a significant portion of Clock that was going to hit a sphere.
It was 2 alliances versus like 8 alliances.
Yeah, but the 2 of the 3 top competent ones. Like the best.
That was nice of you. But fair, but they were still outmatched. It would have been an even match at the best. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been at least
they would have beat Mystery Inc., I think, with just their upper tier.
It would have been a hard fight. And I guess this was like a community stretch mission then.
Mm-hmm.
I did not hate the Mystery Inc. Oasis MDP as much as others.
Clearly, because you modeled your moving.
I know, yeah. I just always take a good idea, I was pretty involved talking with like Valny and Tyrion and them, and I totally understand what they were trying to do there. Obviously, it didn't work because they ticked off the wrong people, and it might not work for us. That's to be determined. There are consequences, we understand, so we'll see what goes on.
They said it was a mistake. Even they're like, "Oopsie."
They said it was a mistake because people came and threatened them and made them repeal it.
I mean, even after, like once they found out what the situation was, actually, I feel like they're like, "Oops," for the most part. You know what I mean? Like,
well, they did drop their treaty after, like a few days after.
Yeah, because Blackwater told them if they did, they wouldn't hit them, and then Blackwater hit them anyways.
Ooh, are you throwing your MDP partner?
Yeah, because we're not an MDP. We're not like a sphere. I mean, you're
still an MDP partner with them.
We're a conditional. It's an optional, based off if stuff happens. Not
an optional mutual defense treaty.
Conditional. It's a CMDP.
An OMDP.
It's a CMDP.
A CMDP. Hey, there you go. You're an innovator. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, innovator. It's conditional. It's only in a very specific scenario. Well, it's not,
a potential MDP.
It is innovative in that
it's basically like a pimp.
The actual signatories don't control its expiration. It's other parties outside of the signatories that control its expiration. You know, it's very innovative. It's very new. It's very, very, very bougie.
Yeah, dude.
So,
it's like if X amount of people are on the green sphere, then you will declare war on FSO or something. Like, I get it. So that's cool.
Wait, no, don't hit FSO.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're protecting them.
Cool. Yeah, you guys, protect FSO. Their democracies are important for Roberts' sake.
Roberts does. I can attest. Roberts loves democracies. Okay, well, cool, man. Like, I think it was good to get more context. James, is your mic working yet, buddy? Is your headphones and your mic and your everything working? James Wilson.
I think he's dead.
Oh, rip James.
Rest in peace, James.
You know what? Let's bring someone from the outside in. I'm curious. Someone that's very, he's not very partial. Someone from the complete outside, hasn't been involved for a long time and has no connections to anyone. I'm gonna shoot an invite. Charlie, are you around?
I am around.
What's up, Charlie?
I don't know, man. I don't know. What's up with you?
Oh, the ceiling, buddy. The ceiling fan. Yeah.
Shout out to Hannah. What's up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think about all this, based on what you've heard so far?
So, I came in like right in the middle of the conversation, but I'm gathered that you guys are talking about the nonsensical treaty between the two largest spheres in the game to, I guess, just like hold hands as they like take their clothes off. Is that kind of the deal?
No, Morf doesn't believe in taking his clothes off. He's kind of
he's a never nude.
Yeah, he doesn't take his shirt off.
I got you. Baby.
It would put the rest of the shower shirt. It would put shower shirt. It would put the rest of us to shame. Because we'd be like, oh my god, that's a chiseled god.
You freaking heathens taking off your clothes.
What kind of material goes into a shower shirt? Is it like an athletic kind of shirt, or are you like full cotton saturation in there?
You want it dripping afterwards.
You want it clinging to the nipple.
Yeah. Some real nipple chafe going on. Oh man! All right, so yeah, just for like a total noob, because that's basically what I am now. It's been like 2 years since I've played.
You're essentially a nerd.
I have no context at all. Like, break it down for the outsider.
Salmore, I do my laundry and my shower at the same time. You know, it's very.
We've moved past the shower, Morph.
People want to know about the showers.
Mm-hmm. So, Morph, what Charlie's saying, like, how would you break this down? Someone coming in with some experience, but new to this political scene, coming in and seeing two of the largest blocks signing a conditional, optional, sometimes mutual defense pact. How would you explain it?
Really, probably the shorthand should be is CMDP, so probably like cum dump. Is that? Is that right? Is that right?
An acronym you could use, I guess.
Okay, all right, nice. Just want a little shorthand, something.
Sign the old cum dump.
It's a choice. Choices were made.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not one to judge. Except unless you make a terrible FA move, judge relentlessly.
With a little C on the cum dump.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so yeah. Morph, it's you, man. Explain it to a political novice.
Okay, to a political novice.
Yeah, it's me.
Let's see. I'm thinking. I mean, I would probably explain it the same way. Two spheres that didn't want to fight each other and don't want to fight anyone else right now, are just taking steps to ensure that they can fight when they decide to fight on their own terms.
Sure.
So it's it's not that we won't fight Celestial. Celestial won't fight us in the future. It's just right now that wasn't in the cards. So
okay.
Who knows? Maybe next month, maybe 2 months from now, maybe 3 months, maybe. Like, I think everyone knows it's probably going to happen at some point. Like,
and inevitable like Clash of Giants kind of deal. I don't even know like the layout of the political landscape. So the two that signed the cum dump are the biggest spheres in the game. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nice.
We are the biggest upper tier spheres.
Okay. So why don't you guys want to fight each other right now? Like, what's the move? What are you guys doing instead of fighting?
Well, obviously we're holding hands and having conversations about farming, even though the radiation isn't good enough to farm because people are,
nuking the hell out of each other,
trying to kill our farming. So.
Really so hold on. So the ongoing conflict is an effort to nerf farm production.
I think so. I think they. So now they're forcing us to send our poor citizens to the mines and the factories, which
shameful.
Is just crimes against Holly Celestial Rose. I don't know what you call our sphere.
Celestewood. Angel.
I prefer Holly Rose because in our primacy position. Some people would say Celestial Wood, but or Rosewood. But I eat at a restaurant called Rosewood, so it just seems weird to me. So I prefer Holly Rose.
I like Hemlock's suggestion, rude. Just real quick and to the point. Forget all those other letters in the middle.
Yeah, the pronouns are Holly and Rose. Oh, the pronouns are they, them. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So, okay. All right. So what's the long-term goal? And like, what do you guys? What's your ambition in the game?
World peace.
World peace. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then everyone deletes. Is that?
We really want people to touch grass.
Yeah. You get outside, stretch your legs, buddy.
Yeah, we would really love people to actually go outside for once and touch grass. So
nice. You're the FA head.
We're trying to help people.
TKR, right? I'm sorry, I'm talking right over you, dude.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we're trying to help people's mental health by having them go touch grass. So
I think that's important. That's a valiant effort, a noble cause.
We're trying to help erase the stigma, of touching grass. So
what's the stigma associated with touching grass right now?
Sometimes, people that play these kind of games think that going outside is bad.
Oh, sure.
And we're trying
on account of the sun.
We're trying to help them understand that you can go outside, you can touch grass, and you can have a life.
Do things
free of nation sim chains. Break your chains, people.
Break your chains. Free yourself.
Yeah.
You can never break the
Morph 22.
Yeah, never president of Orbis, please.
Oh, dude, I'm not gonna lie. The cum dump comment got me going the way that was presented, and I had just now ceased laughing.
I'm glad that I could successfully derail the show for a little while.
Oh man. Wow, that was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Did he explain to you what you're looking for, Chuck?
Yeah. It sounds like the goal is really just to kind of stagnate the upper tier and make the game as boring as humanly possible. That's what it sounds like to me. No, I'm just playing. Just
from an outsider point of view.
Just looking in.
Oh, okay.
We're just trying to build touch grass, man.
Just go touch some grass.
It really boils down to Hollywood fought Blackwater like 3 months ago. Before that, the last couple, we fought another war with TS attacking Grumpy. TS and Grumpy have been going at each other for a long time. It's just if we hit each other again and again and again and again, it's just never ending. What is it?
Perpetuity.
Yeah, but that's not the exact word.
Perpetual.
Perpetuating like the cycle.
Yep.
Also, TKR fought Rose like three times since I've been here. in this game too. Like we fought Rose and we fought every war I think I've been in TKR has been directly against either Rose or Syndicate.
Yeah.
So like we just want to take a break.
Tired of that shit. No, I totally understand that, dude. I quit the last time because I was just so burnt out on war. I was like, fuck, man, I can't. I just can't.
Like I'm down. I'm like I said, it's not we won't fight them in the future, but this was not the time we.
Can I chime in here and ask the question?
Them. Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So you talk about how you two keep fighting each other, over and over again. But we used to have 6 spheres, and technically there are other wars that were going on. But then with this kind of consolidation and everyone kind of moving back from multi-sphere to bipolar, world order, I guess you can't really complain that you are fighting each other again because no one else can fight you. We need equal balance in order to have other people fight. And I understand, keep going on, fighting the same people is very boring. I agree. But isn't, this is kind of how, I guess it isn't all your fault or Hollywood's fault. And, it's a lot of people, a lot of people have contributed to the problem itself. And I guess bipolar is now, I guess you guys have contributed yourselves too, and I'm not putting a blame on you guys that this has happened. But now we're back to 2 spheres again. So I guess you guys will have to fight each other again because no one else can do anything about it here.
The landscape you've constructed around you makes it inevitable.
So what you could do then is, and I hate to do this because Partisan has a huge ego and a huge head, you could break away from Grumpy and Guardian, etc. You know what I mean? Like you can get that broken up where then it ends up being a legit whatever, because that's the whole thing, is the only ones that can really compete against you are like the syndicates and the upper tier, whatever, which is why they signed Rose, which is weird. The only reason that they signed Rose, quote unquote, was to defend against the hegemony that is Guardian, Grumpy, Hollywood, and then they ended up signing a temporary MVP with you. But like, I guess if you're sick and tired of that war, then maybe adjust the dynamic where that doesn't have to be the.
It's like, I'm not here to tell you what to do and how to do it.
But you are, because you just said you did.
Yeah. I did point out. Yes, I pointed out a problem. I'm saying everyone contributed to it. But someone once told me that in order to change the game, in order to make the game more fun, you have to do it yourself first. So are you willing to take the step first to help fix the problem? And you're currently number top 2 or 3, so whatever you do has an effect on the whole game. And we all respect you guys. Well, maybe not with the recent move, but okay, I'll do another one. Maybe not with the recent move, but we respect you guys, and it's what you do that can define the game.
That's true. Yeah, when you've got, you get so much mass, you just pull people in your orbit.
I mean, I will argue against that, though. Part of that line of thinking, dude, Morph, you're welcome. So part of that line of thinking is what's hurting the game, because everyone just looks to Syndicate and now TKR, because Rose is just at this point. But everyone looks to Rose or to TKR and Syndicate to what do we do next? And then now to an extent Cataclysm. So like, to argue against that, I think that's also a part of the problem, is people are like, oh, what do we do next, Papa and Mama? But I guess you have to, if an argument can be made with like the tiering, because you can't fight against that tiering, so you kind of have to follow the lead X, Y, and Z. But I get what you're saying, I suppose, and
well, I guess that might be a games problem more, because we have this kind of like tiering. You can down declare 10 cities if you have no infra. That might be more a mechanical problem for the game. But I'm just saying that the top, say 15 alliance have to lead by example in order to fix our problem. That's what I'm trying to, say.
I'm totally with you there. I agree 100%. We've seen it before, years ago. The bipolar dynamic was split, and we had little mini spheres, and it was great, wonderful. It looks like we're heading back towards the. I wonder if like a bipolar political scene is like just a natural outcome of the game. Like I wonder if it just naturally happens that way.
Charlie
I
only
guess
starts
maybe it
playing
is a
when it's
cycle
bipolar.
too. It might be a cycle that we go into multisphere and then come back to bipolar, and then we go back to multisphere once everyone gets bored of bipolar. That might be true.
Maybe until we get to single polar. But I mean, like, I will say, if bipolar equals Charlie coming back to the game, I think everyone would be fine with that. I think everyone would be fine with Charlie coming back and also hosting radio shows and doing more music. I think everyone's good with that.
I don't know. That sounds like a whole lot of work, dude.
Can I respond to the whole like we need to like drop all of our allies for the like history of the game kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do want to make sure that I didn't say you have to drop all your allies. I'm just saying that you can. Well, it's up to you how you want to play this, basically. Because
I mean, like we're gonna ally people that we like working with, because I think you probably ally people you like working with too. Like I get it. Like yeah, like Hollywood is strong, but people are totally free to like poach people from our sphere if you can. Like if you convince them to sign, go for it. Like. But we like working with each other, so we're going to work with each other. Like, we ally the people that we like. It's why we were allied with it's why we went back to Grumpy and Guardian and them, because our leadership had a long-standing relationship with them before everything. We like working with them. They like working with us.
That's such a wiener reply.
Well, okay. So say like Aurora, we left Quack and then we made Oasis. I have no idea who Tyrion or Harry is in the first place, to be honest. And I just hedged my bet and made friends with them. It's like when you get to know someone, you get to understand them better, and you get to understand why they do things, and then you become friends with them. So I'm saying like you can explore, because we then made Mink, and then now we're in Clock, and I have no idea who left behind us at that point. I just started meeting it. Like, it's the first time we met when we started talking about making a new sphere. And then I had my bet. Sometimes I'm wrong. Like, maybe Mink was a wrong move on my part. Maybe it wasn't. It's just, we can always explore. Like, say you might hate someone before, but then once you get to know them, you now become friends with them, and you have a new sphere. And I'm very glad and happy that I did hedge my bet in Clock, because I didn't know anyone in Clock, let's be honest.
Sure, yeah. I mean, but that's what you want to do with your alliance. We like working with people that we know. Like, that's what we do. Like, every alliance is going to run themselves in its own way. Our FA has always been to ally people that we have a relationship with. If you want to ally us, get us out of Hollywood. I don't know, pitch us. Like, come talk to us. We'll listen. So,
you know what? In a few months, I will take you on that. Then,
like, we are here. We're good. We're an alliance that really loves sticking with people that are both people we like and people that we think are going to be good allies, and that they complement us and are competent with us. That's why we really like Hollywood. People, we like them, we work well with them, and they're competent.
I'm sorry. I really have to say something.
What's that,
sure. Yeah, I do. Please go.
I'm going to say, if all of Hollywood and all of Celestial was okay with treating each other temporarily to prevent themselves from being rolled by another party, it is going to be really difficult to get a lot of those alliances to try out new FA paths. I'm going to say that straight up.
I was going to say the same damn thing. Yeah. Like,
I guess that is true. Yeah, I guess that is true. I don't know. I guess I'm more like the new generation. I came in new. Aurora's new, so I guess that's how I view it. Like, the game, how to help the game. But Yeah.
I've said before, and I'll say it again. I think every sphere should just split in two.
Yep.
And just go their own ways. And I don't know. I don't think any one sphere is going to initialize it. So like in my like crazy wonky upside down crack addled world, like all the major spheres come together and just break up all at the same time and just like put it on paper to break up. But, it's never going to happen.
Hotcake special, Morph. Can you commit to this?
I don't read my own alliance, man. Talk to Weisel.
Man, that's not. Weisel said he delegates FA to you. So, Morph, can you commit to this?
I can say I'm open to it, but
you're open to it. All right,
that's
you're
progress,
open to
man.
Yeah, that's good. You're open to it. Okay.
Sounds great. So I'll pitch it to you.
So if this doesn't end up happening, then we can blame Weisel, apparently.
Always blame Weisel. How's Weisel doing as head of TKR?
Doing good.
Good. Very nice. I haven't talked to him in a while. In a Weisel.
Weisel's jealous that he doesn't have a post with negative 100 downvotes.
Damn, who got 100 downvotes? That's pretty impressive.
110, thank you.
Holy shit.
Rock.
Not counting the laughing face too, actually.
On me.
Oh man, I'm looking at your government lineup. This is pretty solid. Is TCL still around? Like actually still around?
He's a shard. The shards are around.
Shards actually the alliance.
Some shards are more active than others.
I'm just kidding. Weisel, I love you.
TCL and like Honor and IC are more of like, I'd say like cultural shards where they like pop in and advise on like alliance cultural issues. Like, like you guys really think about like how you're going to handle this kind of thing. Whereas like Ben and Niz are just kind of not king, but still do a lot of work in retirement because they're both awesome.
Right.
Not that the other ones aren't, just the other ones are just more retired. Whereas Ben and Niz are less retired, but still retired. So.
What do they think of this move?
If you were in Slack, you would see TCL pop up somewhat often. Like,
nice.
He's around.
What did Niz and Ben think of this move?
Our FA team was on board.
Are they part of
no dissent?
Yeah, they are part of the FA team, yes.
So not one single person in the alliance was like, man, this is gonna be dumb as shit.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying our FA team.
Okay, so there are some voices of reason.
There are voices of dissent.
Sure. Reason, dissent. It depends on which side of the coin you're on, I guess.
Yeah, voices of dissent. That's the thing with an alliance. It's ultimately everyone's gonna have opinions. In a sphere, people are gonna have opinions. So
yeah.
To be honest, I don't speak for the majority at all, because seeing as how if so many of you guys do agree that this treaty is correct, it's kind of 50-50 for the game right now. So I don't think there's really a majority that is speaking against each other right now.
What are you talking about within TKR?
Yeah. Dude, Kan, how's Aurora doing? I remember I was in
Bad Company, but
Bad Company.
Dropped your ass like it was hot.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Like,
way back in the day.
Yeah, I wasn't around
with us, or you kick rocks.
It was Sirius and Rand that was leader back then.
Yeah,
I came in after MPOLT, and they needed some push, so I came in, helped out, and Rand decided to give me leadership. Now I've been leader for 2-3 years.
Sweet, dude. Man, yeah, it looks like you guys are doing pretty well. Number 11, 56 members, going strong. Where's fucking Bad Company? Those chumps. Cut the wrong motherfuckers. Shit. So what do you guys like? What's y'all's deal? What are you guys doing? You guys making any cool moves?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, are we making any cool moves? Well, we're currently in clock, and I get we're currently in war. Actually, we're the party that's kind of fighting right now.
Nice. Yeah.
So-
Are you guys tops or bottoms?
We're on top right now.
Yeah. Giving it to him? Hell yeah, bro.
Well, I mean, it's a fun war. There was a reason. There was a CB.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is fine. This just kind of gave me a shock too. I don't expect any. This was very interesting for all of us, I guess.
Sure. Very nice. Man, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, dude. I'm like 7 tabs deep in PW right now.
Yeah. Come back, Charlie. All right. So hotcakes. We are an hour and a half deep. I think that's a good ass place to go to. Hi dude. What do you have, buddy?
What? Am I supposed to be doing something?
Yeah.
I'm going to panic and run away is what I'm going to do.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah, always
you're my hero. Charlie, you missed out. Hi Dude was not active when we were around. Hi Dude is the GOAT. He's
nice.
He's like an active Hodor, more analytic Hodor / Hi Dude. Actually, I don't know. I don't. Well, Aki is Hi Dude's multi, so he's like an Aki Hodor mix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that time where I did Aki's homework for him, like the day it was due, like down to the minute, fucking busted that shit out for nothing. Not even a fucking thank you, Aki. I remember that shit, bro.
He's puts a smiley face. Awesome. All right. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. We interviewed a ton of micros, including micro leaders, people that don't get a chance to talk very much, including Morf. Morf has a hard time. I know he was having a hard time with getting some voice time. People weren't allowing him to speak at Falmore. They kept muting him. Charlie, Traveler, this noob, I don't know, some noob feller.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Cairn 0601.
Can is it, yeah.
Cairn. So yeah, all in all, what a fun show, huh? This was a good time. Hopefully we can do it again sometime. We can have a post show if you guys want to shoot the stuff. Otherwise, this has been another episode of Cakes.